Neptune and the Stories of the Seas of Antiquity, Part 3, from Stories of Old Greece and Rome, public domain reading. Two other minor deities of the sea were Leucothea and Palæmon. They were not born of the ocean nymphs or any water god, but instead were once mortals named Ino and Melicertes. Ino was the wife of King Athamas, whom cruel Juno goaded into madness. And through fear of him, Ino fled from the palace with her little son Melicertes in her arms. She hoped to reach some place of safety, but imagining herself pursued, in her frenzy, she plunged from a cliff's edge into the sea. However, neither she nor her son perished in the waters, for the gods, in pity for her sufferings, changed them both into ocean deities, under the new names of Leucothea and Palæmon. They were widely worshipped by all who had business in great waters, and their protection was invoked against the danger of shipwreck. A famous altar to Palæmon was built on the shores of Corinth, and in his honor were instituted the celebrated Isthmian Games. Neptune was not only willing to befriend a goddess in distress, as he did when he raised the island out of the sea for Latona, but he was equally ready to assist mortals, especially in their love affairs. Once he lent his chariot to a youth named Agus when he wished to elope with the maiden Marpessa. Her father had refused to allow the lovers to wed. The young couple was overjoyed at Neptune's kindly offer of assistance, and on the day arranged for their flight, the happy pair mounted the chariot, and the swift ocean steeds carried them far out of the reach of Marpessa's angry father. When he discovered that his daughter had eloped with her lover, he started in pursuit, but finding it impossible to overtake Neptune's splendid horses, he flew into such a rage that he flung himself into a river and drowned. The river was afterwards called by his name, Evenus. Knowing themselves out of reach of the irate father, the lovers continued their journey very happily, and believed that no misfortune could overtake them. Suddenly Apollo appeared before them, and declaring himself in love with Marpessa, offered to fight Idas then and there for the possession of the maiden. Poor Idas felt that his chances for happiness were indeed ended, for how could a mortal contend with an omnipotent god? Suddenly a thunderbolt fell from the blue sky, and a voice declared that Marpessa herself should choose between her two suitors. The maiden looked at the glorious sun god, and her heart beat fast at the thought of being loved by one so beautiful and young. But when she turned to Idas, she remembered that he was a mortal like herself, who would grow old as she grew old, and would therefore not cast her aside when her youthful charm was gone, as Apollo was sure to do. So she held out her hand to Idas and refused the sun god's love. This choice was approved by Jupiter, and the lovers, happy once more, urged Neptune's swift horses over the mirror-like sea, which the kindly god had made calm as a forest pool on the softest summer day. In time they reached a pleasant land, far from their native country, and here they lived happily. The chariot no longer needed was sent back to Neptune with many thanks for his timely aid, and each year Idas and Marpessa burned as sacrifices to their protector a white bull, a white ram, and a white boar, which was the kind of offering most pleasing to Neptune.